Today we'll be looking at a very interesting opening trap that involves a queen sack, leading to a beautiful bishop and knight mate as early as move 10. The game starts with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, then, knight to c3, which is called the three knights opening. Good job team, very creative name. Black then plays g6, which is called the stein's defense, preparing to develop the bishop to g7. And by the way, there's like 20 variations in different openings that are called steins, must have been a creative man. White then plays d4. Black takes on d4, then white jumps with the knight to d5 instead of taking the pawn right away. The bishop goes to g7 as promised, then, white plays the best move, bishop to g5. Now we have the critical position of the trap. Black has three choices, the most common one in the database is f6. This is not a terrible move, but it loses a pawn after bishop to f4, d6, and knight takes d4. Okay, what about the two other choices? Another choice is knight c to e7. This is actually the best move. If black plays it, then you should develop the bishop to c4, and play down a pawn but with more activity. But there's still one more choice. What if black plays knight g to e7 instead? As you can see from the evaluation, this is a big mistake. The reason is that white can simply take the pawn on d4. If black takes with the bishop, you play the amazing move, queen takes d4. Now in this position your opponent is very likely to take the queen. They'll be like, I see free queen, I take free queen. But then you'll hit them with knight to f6 check, and when the king moves to the only square, you play bishop to h6, checkmate. One final variation I'd like to show you. After knight takes d4, black can avoid taking the knight and attack your bishop with f6 instead. In that case, you can just take with the knight on f6, and after the bishop takes on f6, you take with the bishop attacking the rook. After the rook moves, you trade knights on c6, and white has to retake with the pawn. Then, you play queen to d4, and castle on the next move. And as you can see from the evaluation, this position is +7. If you like the video, check out more content on the channel.